Hi, I'm Callum from Time Valley Motorhomes, and today I'll be showing you the handover on the VW Hillside Birchover S. So as we come around the vehicle, on the passenger side you do have your Fiamma awning. So to operate this, you do have your winding handle, which is just located on the inside of the cargo door. You'd put your winding handle onto the hook at the end and you'd be able to wind this out like so. So if I just wind this out, so you can wind this out like so, get it so far until you reach inside, so do about there, and then you've got two legs on either side, so one here and one being there. So you would lift them forward, slide them down, and then loosen this nut off here, and then that gives you your telescopic legs. Stand it down and you can peg through the bottom. Put both legs down to just gain a little bit more support for the awning. And then what you can do is wind it out to the designated length that you want it at and just walk the feet out. And should you get an air awning to give extra space on the camper, this is your C-rail, so you get a driveway kit here. Slide this on and then you can attach your blow-up awning for extra space. And then coming around to the back of the vehicle, obviously it is a tailgate model, this one. So you'd open the tailgate. You've got your blinds on the back window. Obviously this backrest of the bed, which acts as a bit of a parcel shelf, lifts up with the lever on the side here, which you can do from the inside. You've got your jackknip brace. You've got your gas locker in here, which will take a small camping gas bottle, so it's probably a 907 camping gas bottle this will take. And then this is just your wardrobe area with your hanging rail in, and these lights are individually switched by just touching them. And then on the driver's side rear, you've got your hookup point. So you've got your hookup point here, so this is your hookup lead. You'd lift the collar back, lift the flap up on the van, slide the collar on top, and then push until you hear it click. Always hook the van up, and then the sight, as we wouldn't want you walking around with the live lead in the wet, or should your lead be damaged in any way, you could give yourself electric shock, and that's not something you want on your holidays. And then you do have your main freshwater intake, which will open with the little key. You put the key in there and that'll lift out. And then in the cab, you've got your bonnet release, which is on next to the accelerator on the driver's side, just here. And you've also got on the slam panel your tyre pressures, so it'll be accordingly to which tyres, to which weight, and then you've got your bars and PSIs there. So it's saying at it's 58 to 61 on the front and 51 to 61 PSI on the rear. And underneath the bonnet, so we just lift your bonnet up, so your secondary catch is just here, so you just feel it. It's just and it is on gas struts, so there's no stay with it being VW. You've got your brake fluid, oil filler, power steering fluid, screen wash, which is the main one you're going to need when you're out and about travelling to fill your screen wash up. Got your radiator fluid, and then you do have your main engine battery underneath here, so should you need to jump start the vehicle or give a jump start or put a charger on, you can connect here. So this is your earth that side and your positive that side. And you've got your oil dipstick there for checking your oil. levels, and obviously I do have your air box, and then in the corner you've got your weight plate. So it's 2.6 ton gross vehicle weight. It's got the chassis number on as well. If you were to put a tow bar on to tow anything, you can tow a train weight up to 4.8 ton, and then you've got your front and back axle weights. Also on the passenger door, if you lift this flap, you've got your diesel intake, which has got a cap on there, so if you release the cap, then you'll be able to fill the vehicle with diesel. And below you have your AdBlue, which is an exhaust additive, which will spray the catalytic converter at a certain temperature to discard any built-up carbon, access to make the engine clean and the exhaust emissions cleaner. This is a 20 litre tank, so this will indicate on the dash when it needs it, but you can get this at most filling stations now, as most new engines, diesel engines, require AdBlue. So just keep an eye on the dash, and should it get low, just top it up, otherwise the vehicle will go into limp mode, which is just a mode that just protects the engine, so it'll limit your speed and revs, and it'll just mean the vehicle is not its normal self. But as soon as you've filled back up with AdBlue, it will return to being at full power. But the simple way is, once it comes on, just to top it up, and it should avoid going into limp mode. So inside the vehicle, you've got your main 12-volt control panel. So you've got your on/off here. You've got your lights. Which are then all just touch. So the ones at the back, you can just touch them on and off. So you've got your pump, which will surface your cold water tap in your kitchen area, and then you've got your reading of your leisure battery, which is saying we are full there. And then below you've got two 3-pin 240 sockets and one 12-volt for charging devices or a TV. You've got your smoke alarm and your CO2 alarm. So once you tap your pumps on, you'll be able to operate your tap. And you've got your gas there, so you'd ignite here. Some storage underneath your sink, and to lift this cupboard, so once it's down, don't just try and drive it back up. Lift the hinge. Got storage underneath. You've got storage under your hob there, and then your isolation tap is just up here next to your hob, so it's just up there. So that yellow tap there isolates the hob should it be leaking gas, but any problems with gas just turn off at the top of the bottle. And you've got your fridge here, so to operate your fridge you just turn it on and off here, turn it off, or you can turn it on. This is just a 12-volt fridge with a little freezer compartment. So this will just work off your leisure battery, so you don't need to be hooked up to operate your fridge. Your main seat in your cab, so your passenger seat, so if you use this little arm here and push it forward, you will then be able to turn your captain's seat of your passenger seat into the rear to give you more seating space. If you just turn that like so, and then pull it forward, we'll turn all the way around. Just make sure that seatbelt is down the side, otherwise it will restrict. Just when you make sure the seatbelt is taken around the seat and just left here, then you'll be able to turn the seat round and just make sure it is pushed all the way into the cab for it to spin round. This is where your own unwinding handle lives, and then your blinds, so your curtains. If you just unclip the curtain ties and pull them over across, so you've got them on all the windows in the rear of the vehicle. So back, side, kitchen, sliding cargo door, all blacks out like so. To operate your rock and roll bed, so down this side here you do have a handle, so if you lift that handle up, you'll be able to put your hand behind it and lift the base of the seat up until it slides completely flat like so. And then this lever here, so your lever on the inside of the seat, this big bar, so if you pull that up, this will drop the back down. And then you do have a lever here on the backrest, which gives you more space for storage when you're travelling, as it will not restrict the boot. Or you can push it down all the way or bring it to a level you're happy with. And then that is how you would operate your rock and roll bed. To operate your roof, so you've got 2 tie downs on either side here. So what you would do is you'd push this clip in and pull the tie out of the clip like so on either side. You just push that, pull that out like so. This will then free the roof from the top of the van. You'll then be able to push it up and your bed base, and then this has put your roof up. You then do have your fly screen on the front for ventilation and your PVC windows on the side. And a fly screen. And of course you can push the bed up to give you extra height, so should you be standing up in the van, you can now stand up without ducking down. And then when you do take it down, so you use both handles, you pull your weight down on the straps, and then just make sure that the tent side, so the side of your pop outs, aren't getting stuck and overhanging and getting trapped, because then they could rip. So make sure you're pulling them in like so. So if I just, so when you do pull it down, so when you do pull it down, if you just pull it, and when you're pulling it, you make sure that the tent is pulling in like so, and then you can pull it down like this. Pull your tent in on both sides, so, and at the front, and then you can strap it down without the tent getting caught between the roof and the top of the van and ripping or causing any damage. And located behind the driver's seat, so if you twist these turnbuckles and lift the table out, you do have a tabletop here which connects there to the pole, and you do have the pole, so if that's just clipped in, if you unclip that and you take this cap off the floor, push this in like so, and then slot the table on the other end of the leg, and there you do have some extra space for dining or using the kitchen. Should you need extra worktop space, you've got it there, and then that'll just store when traveling neatly behind the driver's seat, where you've also got an additional 240 volt 3-pin socket for your kitchen area, for your kettle or whatever other device you want to use. Your leisure battery is located underneath the driver's seat. Now in the cab, so on the door pillar, on the top of the door, you've got your electric windows, driver and passenger side. You've got your mirror adjustments, which you can adjust the mirrors for right and left, but you can also heat them. And then you lock the van, so on a night And once you're all settled in, just hit this button, it'll lock all the doors with there being a van conversion. You've got your lights here, so you've got side lights and main beam. And then if you pull it out, you've got your rear fogs. You've got your headlight adjustment, which is just down here. So that'll adjust the headlights. You've got your wipers, which has got a trip computer on the side, so if you go through that, it'll tell you miles per hour in digital. Your range, your miles per gallon, your instant miles per gallon, your average miles per gallon, and it'll tell you your travelling times. Yeah, just your indicators, which are also park lights on your VW. You've got a 5-speed manual gearbox with lift the collar and into reverse. You've got your distribution on here, so where you want the air to go to, your fan speed, and then this just recirculates it, and your temperature. Hazards, this turns your stop start off. So with stop start, it works when you come to a traffic light, so you come to a stop and you've taken it out of gear and you've released the clutch back up, the engine will cut out, and then as soon as you put the clutch back in, the engine will restart. But should the battery not be charged enough, the stop start won't work because the van will think that it'll not start again with it being so low. So it's got to go over. The van battery has to be charged fully for the stop start to work. You've got your hazards and you've got your rear heated screen. So this is in the back tailgate. You've got your radio here. So you've got DAB, so you can scan for your DAB channels and press 1 to 4 to save them as presets. You do have FM and you do have AM. You've got media, which can be Bluetooth, auxiliary, which is an aux cable, an SD card, or a USB. And then you've got phone, so you can connect to phone and find VW. So you press the settings cog here and then select a device, find a telephone, and that is how to pair your phone to the system. And then you've got eject for your CD should you have a CD in, and you've got your sound set up. This glove box is lockable by the key, main engine key, and then you've got a cup holder here and a cup holder there, and a storage space here. 12 volts here and a bit of storage there.